Hello friends and students. Welcome to today's presentation. It is on physical significance of helix angle in helical gears. Myself, Professor Kushare, Professor Mechanical Engineering Department, KK Wag Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nasik. Actually, what do you mean by physical significance? How helix angle plays important role in design of helical gears and its pros and cons that we are going to discuss in this session. Now here in physical means it's a property how it describes the physical world, or you can say in other word large sample of observation of some variable, it's a physical significance. Now in this case variable is a helix angle and how it will affect on the other parameters that I am going to describe here. The first of all, what do you mean by helix angle? In helical gear, you know very well teeth are cut with some inclination, and that angle made by that teeth along the axis, you can see it's a helix angle. Now here the magnitude of this helix angle in some of the cases which is greater than 0 and maybe up to 45. But while designing this helical gear, how much is helix angle? And what is the right amount of helix angle? Whether it's 0 or whether more than 0 or s, but how much and how to decide it, that is important. And while deciding it, because this value of helix angle is having a influence on other parameters also, which are important parameters associated with the helical gears. Now here we are aware of that the helical gears provides noiseless operation, but how to you will find because of that inclined teeth at the starting point you will get the point contact, and during engagement after when it starts so you will get a line contact. That means there is a gradual engagement of the teeth, and because of that load from the starting point it is smoothly transferred from one tooth to the another tooth as the gear rotates or machine pair rotates, and because of this it is possible to transfer heavy load at high speed in case of helical gear when compared with spur gear. Now let us decide how much is the value of helix angle in design of helical gear. Again you will find in some of the application a range is in between 5 degree to 45 degree. So what would happen if it's 5 or 45, and you can find out its influence by considering the different variables which are associated with the gears, and it will give you guidelines about the value of helix angle. Now in general for single pair of single helical gears, angles or helix angle it is in between 15 degree and 25 degree, that is the range which is given. That means while designing helical gear you may take the value 15 degree up to 25, 16, 17, 19, 20 like this. And for double helical gear this value limits of this helical angle it is in between 20 degree to 45 degree. But in double helical gears why this angle is more, and in single why this more? Because in double helical gear one side having the left tooth and other side having the right, and because of that it nullify the effect of axial thrust. That's why even though if angle is more there is no problem associated with the thrust load. But in single helical gear you will find the one pair is right hand, another one is the left hand. Because of this you will find there is a gradual engagement and noiseless operation, but there is a axial load which is going to develop, that is thrust along the axis of the gears. That's why it is very important to select the proper value of helix angle. Now let us, what would happen if larger the helix angle, so you will find here in this case, if this angle, helix angle, we are going to increase, so what is going to happen? So you will find overlap of the gear tooth or helical gear tooth, which is going to increase, or indirectly you can say contact ratio or overlap ratio is going to increase because of large amount of teeth in contact. How much is the amount of contact? Generally recommended contact or contact ratio is, it is greater than 1.2 up to 1.6, but in this case when helix angle is going to increase, the overlap ratio increases and higher amount of teeth in contact to take heavy duty load. Then second, but it's good to have a good or more overlap ratio, but what is going to happen, it also increases thrust ports, and we will design this, we will see physically how the thrust force is going to increase as helix angle is going to increase mathematically. Then second, as this axial thrust is going to increase, because of that it generates heat and there is a loss of energy. It indirectly reduces efficiency of the helical gear. Again, that's why how to cope with the problem of this thrust force or axial force. And for that purpose, in many industrial applications, you will find proper bearings are selected while mounting that gears on the shaft, and proper selection of bearing is important criteria to handle that thrust force. And generally the taper roller bearings, sometimes single dip groove ball bearings are sufficient. Then selection of proper mountings. Proper mountings means to retain its axial moment of other components of that gearbox. That's why proper mounting. Now let us see here physical significance. Now here we know that the radial force is equal to Pt in bracket tan pi n upon cos psi. Psi is the helix angle, pi n is the normal pressure angle. Generally we prefer 20-degree full depth annular system. Pt is the tangential force. We will get it from the power, torque, and from torque Pt into R is equal to Mt. Now in this case, assuming other parameters constants, if we are going to vary this psi, look at this here, helix angle is 12 degree. In some of the application, based on their operating condition and low transmitting capacity, the helix angles are selected. Even though it is mentioned, it is in the range of 15 to 25 degree. Now here, let us take psi is equal to 12. The cos here, now first of all take this example, Pa is equal to axial or thrust load is equal to here Pt into tan psi. Now as this psi helix angle is equal to 12, so you will get tangent of this psi is equal to 0.21, and as this helix angle is going to increase, this value is also going to increase. So what is going to happen? So Pa component or axial thrust, as the helix angle increases, thrust component or you can say axial thrust is also increases, and already we have mentioned here increasing the helix angle here, it increases thrust force or overturning moment. That means physically we can find out here, as psi increases, Pa is going to increase. Then cos psi, even though in cosine of this helix angle, as angle is going to increase, cosine terms is also going to increase. That means it is going to decrease this radial force. Then another terms is virtual number of teeth in case of helical gear. Z dash means virtual number of teeth is equal to Z upon cos cube psi. As this psi increases, this term cos psi is going to also increase. Cubic of that term is also going to increase, and because of that, so you will find here the virtual number of teeth. This term is going to increase. That means this value is, it is at the denominator level. So you will get small value, and because of that the Z dash is also a small. But the Z, where you will find the application of this Z dash, because to find out the SB here, SB means bending strength, so you will find MB sigma B into Y dash. Y dash is the Lewis form factor, depends on this virtual number of teeth. That means as this value of Z dash increases, the value of this Lewis form factor is also going to increase as per the table given in many data books. And when we are going to substitute that value, so it will affect the bending strength of the gears also. This is the another thing. Then next one is the B. Again B is the phase width should be always greater than pi mn upon sin psi. Psi is the again helix angle, but in this case you will find sin psi means as the value of psi increases, the sin psi magnitude of this sin psi is going to decrease. This value is less, that means you will get more value of this pi m, and it should be always less than this B normal model, and this is phase width. That means in this way also we can observe the influence of this helix angle on different parameters also. Again you will find as the helix angle increases, higher is the contact ratio. So what you have to do, you can refer the equation of contact ratio. Even though you will find that because of increasing this contact ratio means the number of tooth pairs they are in contact, and always you will find more than 1 or 1.2, the one pair and one sum, the partially a pair of these pinion and gears they are in mesh. So generally 1.2 or more than that should be the contact ratio generally required. So you will find because of this tooth load sharing is going to happen or going to increase, and it reduces the stiffness variation and reduce the noise in case of helical gear. That means this helix angle is having the influence which is related to overlap ratio, then thrust force, then efficiency, then again you will find the axial force, then virtual number of teeth, then phase width also. Again look at this in some of the cases. Now suppose find out the center to center distance between the two meshing pair. Generally how to find out it? The PCD of pinion plus PCD of gear by 2, so you will get the center distance. This is the general equation. So you can substitute, but what is the PCD for helical gear? Z1 mn upon cos psi, and now here by 2, that's why 2 cos psi. Again here you can add for the PCD of the pinion plus PCD of the gear, so you will get A is equal to mn Z1 plus Z2 upon 2 cos psi. So again you will find, and when we are going to find out the same equation for the spur gear, that time there is this there is no this term, that is cos psi. So what you will get? Z1 mn by 2 plus Z2 mn by 2. So mn Z1 plus Z2 by 2, that is A for applicable to spur gear. That means this ratio you will get spur gear the center distance 0.5 mn Z1 plus Z2. That time helix angle is 0. Why helix angle 0? Because in case of spur gear, teeth are cut parallel to the axis of shaft. There is no inclination of the teeth. That's why helical angle is 0. This is the expression. But for a helical gear, if we are going to use a helix angle 12, then this term becomes, this ratio term here, it becomes 0.511. And other term remains same. That means even though there is inclination of the teeth or helix angle is 12, but you will find only small change in this value 0.511, but you will find because of more overlap ratio and the gradual engagement, load transmitting capacity of helical gear is more at high speed than the spur gear, even though having the same size and dimensions. The based on that we can make the conclusion compactness to transmit the same load for a same load carrying capacity or power transmitting capacity, compactness of helical gear box is more or good, we can see it's more or compact than the spur gear. Or even though you can observe for 15 also the 0.17 and now here 0.11, there is no lot of difference. That means that's why helical gear is a compact. That means based on this helix angle also we can find out its influence on the other variable, means center to center distance also. So what you have to do in physical significance, how this helix angle affect the other parameters and their consequences on other parameters or which are associated to helical gears. We can say it's a observation of that is the helix angle on large or different parameters. Thank you. I hope you got the physical significance of this helical angle. Thank you. If you have any query, please contact me at 9890426679 or mail me at